From parts unknown, I'm Mr. Hartgrave, and I'm being joined from Generation Next Pro Wrestling. This is Kevin. I just fucked that up. I did real bad. That's okay. I have as many takes as I need. And I'm noticing now, I'm just going to retake that in a minute. We'll just say hi to everybody. I was going to try to be real professional and come in with this nice intro and just go right in, and then I just fucked it all up.
Kevin Graven.
So yeah, this will be on the YouTube channel as well. I guess what I should say before I retake all that and do it properly is that if this is your first time to the channel, make sure you have a look around, like and subscribe. There's a lot of really good, like high quality content on this channel, unlike this video that you've stumbled into, which is just like total dog shit. But this is, we're going to have fun, but like, it's not like good, highly edited content. That's all over the channel though. Go check it out. Go explore. So I just like to get that out there because I don't know how people stumble upon this. This is on Twitch. This is on Instagram. This is on YouTube all at once. This is on Facebook. We're just like everywhere. And one thing I'm noticing is we have like this little like zoom. I think I can fix it really easy you can't see what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But people watching can see what I'm doing. And right now they're like, oh, Mr. Hargrave, you're a fucking wizard. And they're like, that was so much better, Mr. Hartgrave. This is why you get paid the no bucks.
The no bucks.
The fucking no bucks, yeah. All right. But,
it's like V-Bucks.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, so I think that's a more professional look for this totally unprofessional thing that we're doing. Although you are a professional wrestler.
Big body.
Can everybody say fucking hi to Kellen, you rude motherfuckers? Like, I don't mind if you don't say hi to me. But why don't you say hi to Kellen? Jesus Christ. I mean, there's not that many people watching, but those that are watching could say, I mean, they all said like, we got a few comments. AEW looks good tonight. Evening Grave Diggers. And then Violet Mind. Violet Mind's been with me from like the dawn of this thing. They're such a nice person. Okay. I would never say anything mean about them. I don't mind. You have to say hi to them. They don't have to say hi to you. So say hi to Violet. Hi to Violet Mind. Okay.
Hello, Violet Mind.
All right. She's good. All right. All right. Let me try that intro again. Jesus, that was bad. I did like sometimes I do a lot of voiceover, and sometimes I should compile all my outtakes because some of them are really.
Oh, that would be awesome.
They're really outlandish, the things that come out of this mouth. All right. Let's try again. How do I don't know. I'm going to like flip to. I want to make some kind of. If okay, I'm switched to a different view to kind of make it clear to me as an editor that I should pick up at this next spot. How are you doing today? I didn't get to say hi to you before we went live.
I'm good. I'm good. Just another day, work, hit the gym. Now I get to hang out with you. Everything's great. Everything's awesome.
Oh, awesome. We appreciate you being here. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Today we are going to be talking about WrestleDream. So if you have thoughts and opinions about WrestleDream, feel free to write them as we talk, and we'll ignore you because you don't fucking matter. I don't give a shit what these people say. Violet Mind says the video we watched of you wrestling was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That was a really fun match. I was glad to be able to pass that on to you. I'm glad that the match that I wore your shirt with was with someone of Corey's caliber. It was a really fun match to do.
Yeah, like I said, surprisingly good. I was prepared for anything. I was going to I was going to be so nice to whatever came through. And then I was like, oh shit, this is actually good.
And there's a Canadian destroyer.
Yeah, it was awesome. You got like a special name for that, right?
Yeah, we just do like the Sin City Destroyer.
There you go.
I'm real big on Daredevil, and I do like the Devil of Sin City as like a nickname.
Okay, all right. I'm connecting it now. Because your icon on Instagram is that Daredevil, right?
Yeah. I've been doing the different Born Again covers as my profile picture as I near my return. I haven't wrestled since that Corey match, actually.
Rain Dragon says, not gonna lie, I was very impressed by that match. I was in the skeptical party.
Well, thank you. I try to do the best I can when I'm in there.
All right, I think I'm finally ready to not fuck this intro up.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, let's try it. From Parts Unknown, I'm Mr. Hartgrave, and joining me from Generation Next Pro Wrestling is Kellen Craven. If this is your first time here on Parts Unknown, make sure you like and subscribe and have a look around after you watch this video, as this channel is full of high quality content, unlike this video that I made just to please the YouTube algorithm overlord. All right, let's go. Let's talk about WrestleDream. Did you like what I wrote there? I thought that was cute.
I did. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, all right. We'll see how that edits together. All right. So you watched WrestleDream. I watched WrestleDream. I guess maybe before we start, did you like it?
I did. I told you, I think we were already stopped recording by the time we really talked about AEW fandom and how tardy to the party I am, and how I've only been watching for shortly after you started making content. If anything, honestly, between you and my brother's girlfriend, you guys got me into AEW. I didn't jump on the train immediately. I wasn't watching from day one or anything like that. So I'm only 5 pay-per-views into my AEW fandom. So I'm still pretty new to things, still new to some of the stories, new to how they do things over there, but it was good. I really enjoyed multiple matches that we'll get into here.
All right, awesome. As you were talking there, I'm still trying to kind of make this look more professional than it actually is. I'm working on it. It's getting better. It's getting better every moment we fuck around. I make things look better on the screen.
Like a little Rubik's Cube. You just keep messing with it.
Yeah. All right. The chat has lots of questions, and we'll try to get to those at some point, but we're also trying to make YouTube videos here, people. This is part of my new content strategy that we're rocking. So I guess the first thing we should do is talk about the first match, which was Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. And I got to tell you, when this thing started up, I had no idea where this would go. As far as who would win this or what would happen in the match. Did you have any expectations leading into this thing?
I did not. First of all, I was shocked just to see Jay White on a pay-per-view. I feel like he kind of signed over and has just been in obscurity. I feel like I haven't seen him in a while. He very well could have been on the very last pay-per-view and I just glossed over him, but it was cool to see, because Hangman is kind of between him and Swerve and a few others, they're the guys right now in terms of carrying a lot of the weight for that company. And so it was really cool to see Jay not only be in there with someone like Hangman, but pick up the dub. That was really cool.
Yeah. So Jay White took the victory here, and I think that makes sense. I think that's really a good thing with Jay White because he lost so much momentum. Jay White, fun fact, was in the single worst rated match of AEW, either pay-per-views, non-pay-per-views, across all their platforms, all their shows, the match he had with Daddy Ass was the worst.
No.
It's the worst rated thing on Cage Match this year. And I agree. It was upsetting, and it totally stole momentum away from Jay White.
Oh gosh, I've not watched that.
Do you remember that hideous atrocity of a match?
No, and I'm glad I haven't, because I'm a big Jay White guy. So I'm glad I didn't taint my eyes with that one.
It was really unfortunate, and nobody. I mean, look, we got some people in the chat here that didn't absolutely despise it, and most people that liked it were like really big, Billy Gunn fans who were like, Billy Gunn should be world champion. Those guys liked the match. But most people are kind of the mind that Jay White's pretty cool, and we'd like to see him be in like the main event scene. So watching him be squashed by basically someone like an inch away.
Billy Gunn beat him?
Oh, he crushed him in this match. You haven't seen this? I thought
no!
I've covered this like 6 times on this channel. I keep bringing it up because it was so crazy. No, it's true.
Why?
I mean, he didn't just beat him. He ass whipped him. I mean, he just tossed him around. Billy Gunn spammed a hip toss on Jay White for like 10 minutes. The other thing, it was like a long time to have Jay White get his ass kicked. It was like a prolonged ass whooping.
So Billy Gunn can beat Jay White, but Jay White can beat Hangman, and Hangman is in your main event.
Ooh, that's really interesting, isn't it?
You got to break it down like that. Like, that's the logic that you're putting out there for people.
And you're not a fan. You're a pro wrestler. This is the logic.
You got to have consistent. I'm all for sporadic, like a Billy Gunn like stole a win or something, or someone distracted him. Like, I'm not saying Jay had to win.
It was a clean, decisive ass whooping.
Daddy ass beat that ass.
Yeah, I mean, Jay White mounted no offense back. Like nothing.
Oh no,
he had nothing. He had nothing for him. I think eventually he had to be saved by his crew at the end, if I recall correctly.
Billy Gunn just kept beating that ass.
Yeah, kept beating that ass. I mean, I can't recall what the ending. I think that Jay White actually did win the match, is my recollection. Okay. Someone can fact check me on that. But it was such like a egregious ass whooping. And the other thing is the story really didn't justify it at the time. The reason why, and people tried to say, oh, this is justified because, he broke into Billy's house. He didn't break into Billy's house. Billy's sons lit him in the fucking house. It's not breaking in.
It's not breaking.
Yeah. If you enter your own parents' home, I don't really know if it's a real gray area there. And what would have sold it for me, what would have been like, okay, I get this aggression, I get why this had to happen, is if when he was in the house, Jay White actually did something.
Right.
Jay White did nothing. He looked around,
maroozed around, and then left.
Yeah, it was less egregious than Swerve by far. I mean, Swerve threatened a baby.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Swerve did threaten a baby.
You can't forget that Swerve threatened, which I think was actually Hangman. Like, I really want the behind the scenes picture of Hangman laying down in that crib with like the cell phone. Like taking the video, right? It's gotta be. But,
that's so funny.
But yeah, Jay White threatened to break Billy's TV and then didn't. So they had it right there. I mean, if he would have just smashed up his TV, and how much are TVs? They're like $100. Like, break his TV.
Daddy's ass got the money for that.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Tony's got the money for that. Tony Khan can front a TV smash, especially if your plan as the booker is to have him just have his ass whooped for 10 minutes by like a retired guy. I don't know. Look, we've gone on way too much about this, but I figured this was great for YouTube again because I think people can really appreciate how I have all the footage cut of that too.
Oh gosh.
I just lay that in. I have this great highlight reel of Jay White getting his ass whooped by Daddy Ass for like 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh. That's something. I mean, if he actually won the match, that makes it a little better, but
I guess so. This is
a little.
And this is after he got beaten by MJF, who had one leg and one arm. Which everyone remembers this. Now you remember this, right?
I do. Yeah.
Where MJF literally beat Jay White with one leg and one arm. After already wrestling previously in the night, right?
I think he did.
Yeah, he was in the opening. He was in the 0 hour, and then
Mhm.
he got carried away by an ambulance. And then he
Came back just to beat Jay White's ass.
And I don't want to say it was a squash match, but it wasn't not a squash match. It was damn near a squash match. So this was a hell of a lot better than that.
Poor Jay, man. Poor Jay. Well, he's on the come up now.
I'd say he's paid his dues. Right?
His very unnecessary dues.
Holy crap. And what's cool about, I mean, I love Jay. I love that his style is like getting his ass beat and like dying, but then he wins. Like that's been kind of his thing for a long time. So I enjoyed, and that's what he did here. So he got like beat up and you're like, oh, Jay White's going to lose. And then he just hit, oh, the counter at the end.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Where he grabs Hangman out of the buckshot lariat and Blade Runners him. That was dope.
Beautiful. So good.
Absolutely good. All right. I think we got, is there anything else we want to say about that? Because that was pretty good.
No, I mean, it's just a really great match. It was one of my favorites it's probably top 3 of the show for me. So I was really digging that one. The counter at the end was excellent.
Yeah.
I loved, there's just so much. I just remember watching it and just getting up a little bit, getting on the edge of my seat, kind of.
Yeah.
Not completely. The main event got me there, but I just actually like sat up and was like, oh, this is sick. I love seeing Jay, and Hangman's great. I underrated how important Hangman has become to this product, because I remember there for a minute he was very backseat to like Omega and the Bucks and some of the other more main event members of the Elite, and to see him kind of really step up in Omega's absence has been really cool. And this match is another example of him. Anytime he's in the ring, he has the risk of having the best match. So it was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, Hangman has been said to be like the main character of AEW, and it's not entirely wrong. He's been there since 2019. He got a huge push. I mean, he was the main storyline of like the first. When did he become champion? 2022, 2021?
Something like that. Yeah.
So from like 2019 to 2021, he was the main story arc. He was the guy that you were pulling for. And he had, and he earned it. He earned it in Ring of Honor, which this is our fault for not noticing. Like a lot of people say Hangman should have never been champion. Hangman was champion too soon. Hangman had paid his dues for like 5 years in Ring of Honor. So it's on us for not knowing that. And you know what? It's a little bit on them for not telling us.
Right.
I mean, they didn't own Ring of Honor when they started up, so they couldn't play the clips or whatever. But a lot of the work that Hangman did, a lot of the character development, a lot of him being over with live audiences happened in Ring of Honor. And like in a big way, like people really like Hangman. Yeah.
I think that's true for a handful of the people they've brought in. You can really see it in terms of like Okada and stuff like that, where they bring in these people who have been megastars somewhere else, and they don't take the time to introduce them to a new audience. You have to always assume that your audience is ignorant. You have to. Like you have to spoon feed them every little thing. And so if you have this guy that's been a huge deal other places, the first thing you need to do is tell people he's a huge deal. Like make him seem like the star that he is. Show clip or what clips you can. I know stuff's copyright, but if you can't show it, talk about it. If talking about it's not enough, let's see some really great matches. Like book them somewhere, let them decimate some dude in an opening match. Like let's see them be great. And I think they definitely dropped the ball with Hangman early, not introducing a brand new audience, because AEW was a brand new audience when they first started. They didn't have a history or anything. It was kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of other fan bases. And if you didn't come from Ring of Honor, you did not know who Hangman was. Or if you weren't like a big elite mark, it's just crazy that they kind of let him come in. And they did push him, like you said, but if they gave him the backing they did at the beginning, he probably would have never had that dip. Because he came in hot and was like the main story. And then around the time Omega was like the belt collector, he just kind of like hid in the background. He kind of just went straight down and hid until now he's coming up. He came up with the Swerve program, and he's been riding high ever since. But it could have been a straight rocket shot if they put the groundwork in early.
Well, I think he's really shown that it was AEW that failed Hangman and not Hangman that failed AEW. At this point, I think it's clear this guy is very talented. Another thing that shot him in the foot, I've got a video about it on the channel, and to kind of give some backstory into that, some editorial on that, because I don't really do that in those videos. I really do feel like CM Punk coming into the company did. It was a big shot at Hangman specifically because he came in when Hangman was champion and just entirely, he brought in so many fans that had no idea who the fuck this Hangman guy was. Didn't give a shit about this Hangman guy. Wanted to see CM Punk as champion, and CM Punk did nothing to, discredit that or put some shine on Hangman. In fact, I believe the angle is that he was going to be the guy to beat Hangman, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And to a guy like Hangman who takes his storytelling so seriously, that's like the one thing I got from that video that I didn't really like. I was hoping would come through is this guy is incredibly passionate about the stories he tells.
Yep.
And you can tell that with his work with Swerve. Like he'll do anything to tell the story that he wants to tell. And that's what he wants to do. In-ring work, all that kind of stuff. I think he's great, but I don't think that's his focus. I think his focus is really storytelling. And if you're into storytelling, then you got to be a Hangman fan.
Yep. I agree 100%.
All right. We got another one, man. You see, videos are just flowing. This is brilliant. I'm going to have to create so many thumbnails. All right. Somebody in the comments wanted to ask, and I think I actually know the answer to this. And I was pretty happy to find the answer to this myself. Because I had wondered for a long time too. Someone, I don't want to say someone now. I don't think I'm making a video. Rain Dragon wants to know why Jay White always has disgusting phlegm. Kellen, do you know the secret to this? I think I actually know why this happens. Do you know why? You're a professional, so do you know where the disgusting phlegm comes from?
I mean, clearly some of it can just come down to biology. He could just be a very snotty, mucusy man, or he could just have a slight issue with it. And as it starts in a match, he just doesn't care because stuff like that just adds to dramatics. It adds like it's such a good like photo of you with like the snot or the spit or whatever you got. You can almost get like an Austin Hart moment, like in the sharpshooter with all the blood, like you're just in a hole and you've got all this snot and you're just spitting it everywhere. Like it can be a good presentation thing, but it's also just really freaking gross. It's really gross. I noticed it too.
Well, did you notice that in this match he was trying to take extra care to get rid of it because he was kind of being a face?
He knew it was a big moment. He's like,
right? He was getting rid of his shit. All right. Here's the thing I found out. I think this happens when you're dehydrated.
That could be a thing.
And Jay White, the way this guy is fucking cut, he's dehydrated as fuck.
Yep.
Like
that
constantly.
Is a very good point.
To look the way Jay White looks, to look this cut, you can't be that fucking hydrated. It's very difficult to look that way. Without, depriving yourself of some water. So that's what I think the disgusting phlegm comes down to. He values, he's cultivated this very extremely cut look, and he's working. Really, I don't think it's smart. Jay White should probably hydrate more.
Probably.
And shave the fucking beard. I don't know, man. Jesus Christ. I miss sweet-faced little Jay White. He had such a nice little face. Don't you remember sweet-faced little Jay White from New Japan Pro Wrestling? I know. It's fine. I know you're biased. It's not an attractive beard. And I know why he does it. It's hard for him to, he does not look like a heel when he's shaved. He is the sweetest little babyface child when his face is shaved. The beard puts like 20, 30 years on him. Easy. If he's shaved, dude, he looks like he's 10. It's ridiculous. But he's beautiful. But but you can't do that. For his character, he's got to edge it up. but I don't know. I'd like to see the clean-shaven Jay White again.
Maybe one day when he becomes the most baby of babyface world champions, he'll shave it off just to give you a pop.
Maybe. Start wearing suits around again. I don't know. We miss New Japan, Jay White. Okay, so next match, Mariah May versus Willow Nightingale. You've got no thoughts. We don't remember this. Hold on. I haven't looked at Cage Match. What does Cage Match say about this stuff?
It was a long. I will say it wasn't as so egregiously bad that it stuck out in my mind, but it's definitely like one of the more forgettable matches of the night.
Oh, that's you know what? As far as what people say about women's wrestling in AEW, that was actually a nice thing to say. That counts as a positive comment.
That's a compliment.
It's a compliment. Oh shit! All right, I forgot to check these. I don't know. I like to check the ratings. It's a level of context that I enjoy.
It's interesting.
So the internet gave Adam Page and Jay White 8.17, which I think is I think out of 10 is pretty good.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Pretty good.
I'd give it that. They
actually gave Mariah May and Willow a 7.36.
That lines up with about what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, this was, in the internet's opinion, a good match. And I would agree. I think this was a good match.
Maybe I need to go back and rewatch it by itself, not in the context of a full AEW pay-per-view, and I might appreciate it more.
Yeah, my eyes were definitely kind of glossed over after the Jay White Hangman thing, because that was like so awesome.
Yeah.
Just to see Jay White like get a win and not be bitched out on a pay-per-view was like amazing. Because you're right, like Jay White really hasn't had a good pay-per-view spot like ever.
Nope.
So this was like his first, and I don't know. I've seen a lot of shit talk about Mariah May recently because she was at the press conference after the show and nobody had any questions for her. And I think that that's egregious and horrible. And I think the people that into these press conferences need to do a better job, need to pull up and bring their A game and ask a couple questions.
Absolutely.
I think Mariah May is fucking incredible. I think she's done a great job in AEW. I don't find her championship run to be lackluster. I think this match is a good example that she does a good job.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, she's not as good. I mean, how the fuck are you going to top Toni Storm? How are you going to do it? True. Toni Storm's number one right now. She's on the cover of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. She's the number one female wrestler in the world right now.
Yeah, she's on another level. Small shout out for my school. One of our students, she made that list as well. She was like 248, I think, is what she got.
Nice. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so that was a big. We've been singing her praises last couple days.
Who is it? I mean, you put her over, but you didn't mention her name. I mean, what are you doing?
Alexis Littlefoot is her name.
All right.
She's very talented, very great character, very great person. So it's really cool to see her get some credit with that.
Well, hopefully she'll get to wrestle Mariah May. But what's Mariah May got to do to be seen as a champion befitting of this belt? I mean, Toni Storm raised the goddamn bar so high. What's she got to do? It's not enough to put on a good match. It's not enough to have a good match with Willow Nightingale. It's clearly not enough.
I think she needs a moment. She doesn't need a match. She needs a moment, which is arguably more important than a match. She needs I'm trying to think of a good example.
Like a
AEW.
moment.
Britt Baker, when she was all covered in blood from that blood, and that made her a megastar.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she needs. She needs a moment like that can become iconic, that can get a special action figure made, that can be like cemented in people's minds.
She's got to sell some toys.
Come on.
No, I agree. And perhaps not connected to Toni Storm, because she does have a moment directly connected to Toni Storm.
Right.
So we need something on her own. And people say there's no storyline with Mariah May, but I think that's inaccurate. I believe she does have a storyline going with Mina.
Yeah, I think so. They're very light and kind of undertones, but it's easy to gloss over. Maybe that's what she needs. She needs a real hardcore straight line. This is my story.
In your face.
You are my opponent. No, like just let's go.
Because yeah, what she has with Mina is the very New Japan style story, where it's
Right.
implied, where it's online, where it's in a Twitter post, where it's in a blog, where it's kind of on this side, it's in a look, it's in a glance. I like all that stuff, by the way. I think that's great storytelling, but it seems like mainstream audiences, if you're gonna try to win them over, which maybe you don't care, which is fine, who does? Um, honestly, I mean, this isn't the WWE. It's not necessary.
Right.
We can be a fringe, program for weirdos over here, all we want to be. We can absolutely do that. Speaking of weirdos, did you actually know that they asked Mariah May to tone down the kissing on TV
No, why would they do that?
because they thought it was inappropriate? It
Who
was.
cares?
Well, I think it's awesome that was the pushback from the people at AEW was, hey, you guys don't need to do that, instead of like how it was with Vince McMahon. Hey, you ladies need to get out there and rub on each other more.
Get out there and kiss.
Yeah, because I almost, I'm like, honestly, everything that I have heard about pro wrestling for years and years and years, I was assuming that somebody was like, all right, if you ladies want to go out there and kiss and pop us some ratings. But apparently there was none of that. It was totally their own motivation,
Oh man.
to the point where it was actually like people were questioning it, like, you don't need to do that, right? Like, we don't need ratings that way.
Oh man. I can't. I don't have words right now. That's
So I don't know. Maybe a moment that doesn't involve hardcore lesbianism or Tony Storm. I don't know what it's going to take for Mariah May to be seen as a good champion by regular people. I think she's great.
I think so too. I've been really impressed with what I've seen, but apparently she needs to do less kissing. I don't
All
know.
right, you know what? She keeps teasing this nude celebration. She hasn't done that. That's a moment.
That's her moment.
That
Just
won't-
a naked figure.
Yeah, that's not an action. Is that an action figure? Can you make that?
Yeah. You just put the belt like over what you need to cover. Make it
crap.
not removable.
I'll guarantee it'll sell.
I,
I'm sure it'll sell.
give me a job. Come on, Mattel or whoever makes the figures now. I got
Jazzwares.
you.
It's Jazzwares.
Jazz. Well, there we go.
Get the Jazzwares logo on the screen. On a Jazzwares naked Mariah May ad.
Sponsored.
If I was a really good content creator, I would totally insert that spot. Hey kids, do you like Mariah May?
Want to see her wearing nothing but championship gold?
Recreate classic moments from AEW television. Jesus Christ. All right, we better move on before we get canceled.
Really?
It's just a good match. People need to calm down. I hate seeing like women hate online. It never makes me happy.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm missing all the comments on Facebook, by the way. I apologize. I just now clicked over. I see you over there, my man. One of my biggest supporters hangs out on Facebook. He's happy that Takeshita is a champion. We're going to talk about that. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, we're going to talk about that. Jesus Christ, that match. It says Jay White will look like Mr. Hartgrave if he's shaved. I mean, he's not wrong. There's a reason why.
Honestly.
There's a reason why I like Jay White like that. I mean, that's what I don't grow a weird beard. I'm not trying to be a heel.
weird beard.
It's a weird beard. Sometimes it's more like he's trying to be a little more of a face, so he's trimmed it back. When he goes full bad guy, it just gets nuts. You can tell what mood Jay White's in by his facial hair, which is weird.
That's great.
Well, the same thing with Kenny Omega. You can actually see Kenny Omega's mood by his hair color. His hair color will determine whether he's a face or a heel.
I didn't think about that.
I love these touches. This care that the wrestlers will take with their appearance is actually pretty awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, he's just saying how great Mariah May is. Mariah May
Oh
is
yeah,
great.
excellent.
And that Tony Storm is like Tony Storm is basically an impossible act to follow, I think.
At this rate, yeah.
Like, what the hell are you gonna do? How the hell could you possibly follow that?
I don't think anybody could.
I'm just catching up on comments. These people aren't saying.
Oh,
anything.
you're fine.
Right.
I can't see him, so feel free to.
Yeah.
Shout one out.
We've got them coming from all platforms right now. We got 20 people watching us on YouTube and Twitch. We got another person watching us on Facebook. I don't know who's on Instagram. Normally, Kellen's on Instagram, but now he's here live. I can usually count on Kellen to be on Instagram.
That's my domain.
Yeah, so no one's talking on there now that you're not there. But Violet Mine is remarking that Mariah May is rather impressive the way that she comes out of these matches, these intense matches with perfect hair. It actually is impressive.
I didn't think about that. It is, isn't it?
Yeah, what? Hold on. I apologize. Maybe you can talk to people for a moment, but I don't know about what.
Yeah, I just have to ramble.
I have an image of Jack Perry and Shibata on the screen, but I have to check on my family real quick. So I don't know. Kill some time. Maybe tell people your life story. I should only be like a minute or two. I apologize.
Okay, you're good.
All right, give me a moment.
You're fine. Let me see if I can actually. Ooh, I can pull up Twitch on my phone. See, look, we're thinking through this together. I got this. Hold on. If I pull up Twitch on my phone, then I can read it. All right. Cool. Where's the comments? How do I do this? Help me. I'm old. I don't know how to see the. Oh, there they are. Okay. Cool. Your life story, no pressure. Yeah, I'm not that freaking interesting. There's not much to talk about. Get dropped on my head for money. That's about it. Oh, no pressure. Don't fuck up. Y'all aren't helping. None of you are helping. Oh, man. I want to see Mr. 8-Pack. Yeah, look, you don't know. You ever seen Mr. Hartgrave shirtless? He could have an 8-pack. We don't know what he's packing. I've never seen Jay White and Mr. Hartgrave in the same place. So that's all I'm saying. He could just like strap on like a Velcro beard, do some like Terrifier 3 crap, just strap it on and off he goes. Beating up Hangman live on TV. Let's talk about your new entrance music when you come back to wrestling. Use Mr. Hartgrave. Now, listen, I've pretty much exclusively used variations of Cry Little Sister since my tag team partner retired. We used to come out to Artists in the Ambulance by Thrice. I think Thrice. Yeah, I think Thrice. But ever since then, I've done different covers of Cry Little Sister because I'm just a big Lost Boys mark. And the most recent one I was using is the Vampires Everywhere one. Really cool. I pulled up some new ones on my phone today that I was looking at. Got to play with that. We'll see what's going on. But the edit that he made with his song over my entrance, that was sick. That was awesome.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. I wasn't sure how that would go over. I just, well,
I didn't
want to get a copyright situation. So.
Oh no, I definitely get it. I pulled up the stream on my phone so I can actually interact with people while you were gone.
Good.
When you started wrestling and how you got and what got you interested? Started wrestling in 2020, like right when COVID started. Like I started training, I paid all my money, I started learning how to lock up. They were teaching me how to bump. COVID, no one's allowed to wrestle anymore. So that really sucked. But that's about the time that I started. And I was always interested, but I mean, you get to a point where you got to work. Like you got to go to factories. You got to do what you got to do. You got to make the money. And so being a professional wrestler didn't seem like something I would ever have time to do. And it was actually, and this is something I forgot to mention in the video, one of my very best friends and the real inspiration to make me reach out to Larry D. And I didn't put him over at all. I'm surprised he didn't message me. Alex Zane is one of my best friends. He's been dating one of my childhood best friends for years. Uh, and so by proxy of following her, because he's my childhood friend, I got to follow him and seeing him on like TNA and stuff like that. That was like, okay, someone from my town, from my small little corner of Kentucky, can make it on like TNA Impact, can make it in New Japan. They can do all this stuff. It's doable. It's achievable. I need to do it. And so that's what made me finally pull the trigger was Alex Zane.
Yeah, we need to do a whole video on Alex Zane. Did Alex Zane watch the video?
I don't think he has yet. I'll send him the link. I'll send him the link. He commented on something of mine the other day. I like reshared a clip from the world's biggest battle royal that I did. They had like almost 100 people in this freaking Royal Rumble. And I hit the ring hot and hit like a big tornado Rana. Like I hit a really big Hurricane Rana when I first came in. And I shared the clip of it. And he commented, was like, let's fucking go with a bunch of exclamation marks. I'm like, do you know this is from like 3 years ago? Like I didn't just do this. This is kind of old. Nice. It's a memory.
That's the energy that counts.
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's carry on here. We got a lot of show left and just over an hour to try to cover this. We got Jack Perry versus Shibata, and the internet hated this match. This and another match is kind of tied for the worst match of the night. Was this the worst match of the night?
Yes, 100%.
Wow.
Well, there's another one that I don't think you're going to expect me to really freaking hate. Okay. I'll tell you when we get to it. All right. But this is bottom two. This is bottom two by far.
I can't say I remember this.
Because there's nothing memorable about it. That's the problem.
Yeah. Jack Perry's been doing so good making memorable moments that it is remarkable that Jack Perry has had like a unremarkable match on an AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe I didn't really start watching anything from Japan until Kenny Omega's rise. So maybe it's because I'm not familiar with his opponent here.
Yeah. This
was actually the first match I've ever gotten to see of him work.
Okay.
And so I was only like half invested because I only knew who one guy was. But it didn't do it for me at all. And it's sad because I really like Jack Perry's new character. I really love the scapegoat thing. Yeah. I think he's really hitting his stride here and doing something that's really interesting. But I didn't really care for his match with Danielson that he most recently had for like the world title and stuff. I didn't really like that one either.
I'm trying to remember how I felt about his match with Danielson. I don't think I hated it, but once again, not extremely memorable.
Right.
And Jack Perry's done a lot of memorable stuff. I think the best match that he's done recently was the ladder match at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
Where he won the belt. Was rather remarkable, rather good. I guess I can't really believe that Shibata was going to take the belt off of Jack Perry here. There was nothing in my mind that said that this would be the moment that Jack Perry would lose that belt. So it instantly lacks stakes, which doesn't mean that it had to be a bad match to begin with, but it definitely didn't have that element going for it.
It's definitely coming in with one leg. As soon as you can look at the match and you're like, well, I know who's winning this match, like immediately you're already half out of it. And so booking a match of that caliber, and I mean, I guess with AEW, you've brought it up before. One of your favorite things about it is how unpredictable it is. Yeah. He very well could have dropped it. Like, we don't know what the heck is going on, but the general wrestling brain and everybody tells you that it's Jack Perry. If they did a poll, he would have been like 95% Jack Perry's going to win.
Okay. There is one thing about this match, the build of this match. And I had the image on screen. I have to try to get this image back on screen because it ties into what I was going to say.
Now I got you pulled up on my phone so I can see what you're doing.
Hold on. I got to find this. I had it and then I lost it, but I can find it again. Bear with me. Oh, after the match. This wasn't about the match.
Oh my God.
It was about after the match. That's why this match is unremarkable and unmemorable because of what happened. And I don't necessarily care for what happens after the match.
I don't either. I think it's half the reason I hate it.
There's so much bad.
You're more up to date with the AEW storylines. I'm going to ask you as a casual. I'm going to see if I got this right.
Okay. Here's the screenshot I wanted to get. My favorite part about the build to this match was when Jack Perry mentioned that Shibata has a turkey leg in his pants. And it does seem to be an accurate statement.
There it be.
I couldn't believe that Jack Perry said that on TV. Literally better than the match was Jack Perry calling out Shibata's turkey leg, which I don't know will ever leave my mind, and now it won't leave yours either.
It's like the Matt Riddle effect. Once you point it out, now it's all I can look at.
So look, this match has that going for it. Brought us that moment. And then, God. After the match, Daniel Garcia comes down to the ring. I guess to be like, I'm going to be the guy that takes the belt off of you, right? I'm going to be the TNT champion, which I do buy. I totally can believe that Daniel Garcia will be the next TNT champion. 1,000%. I can. And it's a goddamn shame, actually, though, that we'll lose the scapegoat belt because that belt is fucking gorgeous.
It is awesome.
It's one of the best belts it's ever been. Jack Perry made it himself.
I saw the clip. Yeah. It's really cool.
That's crazy. If Jack Perry, one day has to retire, just make belts, man. As an amazing belt maker. So Daniel Garcia comes out, throws down the gauntlet. Hey, I'm going to be the champ. And MJF comes out, which you could have saw coming.
Yeah, fine so far.
Could have saw coming. And we're getting back into the MJF Daniel Garcia feud, which clearly MJF wants to do. Because MJF could not shut the fuck up about Daniel Garcia all through his Will Ospreay feud. His Will Ospreay feud wasn't even a Will Ospreay feud. It was like a stopover to the Daniel Garcia show.
Yeah.
And I'm not against it. I like Daniel Garcia as much as I love Daniel Garcia. I think he's great. But it did kind of make that angle with Will Ospreay feel very, very passé, very much by the numbers. I'm with this country. He's with that country. It felt very like 80s, I guess. I mean, MJF likes that kind of thing.
Right.
But it didn't feel very creative. What he has going on with Daniel Garcia, I think, is very creative and very engaging. But then the part that I've seen a lot of people comment on, and I certainly was sitting there like, what the fuck is happening, was when, Adam Cole comes down to the ring to chase off Big Bad Man MJF.
Big Bad MJF.
Big Bad MJF. What?
Oh my God, my brain.
What the fuck? So when did this happen? When did Adam Cole become a face again?
I don't know. I'm glad that you're confused too, because that's what I was about to get to. Because 100%. As far as I knew, he was with the Kingdom, the Undisputed Kingdom.
He's the fucking devil.
Literally.
He's the fucking devil.
And then because the guy who he turned into the devil turned heel as well, now because he still doesn't like MJF, all of a sudden he just needs to...
He's a face? And hold on, guys. I know Adam Cole is back from injury, but he injured him fucking self.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it. He jumped off the fucking rail and broke his own damn ankle. And I'm glad he's back. Like, don't get me wrong. But, like, is this really a hero's return? I don't know. This guy is supposed to be one of the biggest, baddest dudes in AEW. He's the guy. He annihilated MJF. I mean, he basically turned MJF heel again. He mentally manipulated him and annihilated MJF for funsies.
Lulz.
Yeah, I mean, I know he didn't even get the belt. You know, he was just fucking with him.
I don't know, man. This is the one that, and I love Adam Cole.
Adam Cole is great.
I adore Adam Cole. The Undisputed Era, the Kingdom. One of my first Ring of Honor shows, I got to see him and Kyle O'Reilly as Future Shock as a team before he was ever like the guy. So I've like had tabs on him since day one. And him winning the Ring of Honor title is another, along with Alex, was seeing how old he was when he won the Ring of Honor world title was another like push to get me to go for this. So I'm a big Adam Cole fan, but I despised this.
I don't get it. It's gonna, I mean, he did cut one promo at the start of the year, and he did lay out, he wasn't wrong about MJF. At the start of the year, he did lay it down very clearly. He said, you know, this guy's always been a piece of shit. He's always manipulated people. What I did to him might have been a bit shady, but it's nowhere near, you know, what he's done to other people. And I can get behind that. But he does this while standing in the ring with the rest of the Undisputed Kingdom, clearly being the biggest, baddest guys in the company while he does it.
Yep.
So, yeah, he kind of tried to make himself out to be a face, but I don't think we are necessarily supposed to buy that. Now, I guess the other... All right, does it make Adam Cole a face if Matt Taven and Mike Bennett have been acting nice after matches? Because that's been happening.
They probably made them start doing that because they knew they're going to bring Adam Cole back as a face. So they're just like inching the whole Undisputed Kingdom.
Just kind of walking that back.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? Maybe they're not working as bad guys, and maybe they're all good guys. Maybe they've always been good guys. How's that sound?
Maybe they're not so bad after all.
Not so bad. Maybe they're fine. Maybe they're actually fine.
They were just goofing.
It was a goof. It was a prank. Remember when they psychologically manipulated and destroyed a man? It was funsies.
It was just for the pranks.
Fun. He just pretended to be his friend and betrayed him for goofs. It's fine, actually. So
Shake my hand. Code of honor. Come on, guys.
I mean, I'm going to be able to get over it. Look, I'm not a fragile individual who's like going to be devastated that Adam Cole's character hasn't been consistent throughout the time of his run. But he's literally never been a face since he joined AEW. So I don't know. I guess he pulled it when he came back. After his in-ring injury, right, that he got from wrestling, and he came back. And everybody was like, yeah, Adam Cole, baby, he's back. He's going to be a face. And then he entered that program with MJF, and we're thinking the whole time, oh, Adam's going to stab him in the back. Like, nobody actually thought that Adam was not going to stab MJF in the back, right?
Right.
Like, that was telegraphed. That was known. Sure, we kind of hoped he wouldn't, like, hey, maybe they'll just be best friends forever. And some people, and, a good deal of people thought that MJF would be the one to betray Adam, vice versa, right? But I don't think Adam's ever actually been a nice individual in AEW. And so I don't know why he would now. But, here we are, and I guess we'll see how it plays out. Time will tell.
Oh my God.
Would you prefer, do you have a preference of Adam Cole? Good guy Adam Cole, bad guy Adam Cole?
Oh, bad guy.
Hasn't he worked his heel like his entire fucking career?
Just about.
He's never been a kind individual.
I definitely love bad heel Adam Cole is the way to go. So I don't know what they're doing. Not, he was already heel. Like, I don't know why. He's already heel.
Why? I just assume that this isn't going to last. Like, I'm not even going to bother getting worked up about this because next week he'll just be back to doing evil shit again.
I think he'll stay face for this MJF program. And then once that's done, they'll flip the Undisputed King. It's one thing to be gray. AEW does a great job at having people that are very, very gray. where you're not like, if you like them, you can like them. If you don't like them, you don't like them. They're going to go at who they want to go at. If they go at your favorite wrestler, too bad. If they go at a jerk face, great. I'm glad you're going to cheer me for a little bit. But like Swerve is he's just gray. Like he's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. Yes, he's super over and more people are with him than they're not. But like,
we don't care what Swerve does. Swerve can do anything. We don't care.
He'll kick a baby in the head if he wants to. Like he does,
and we will cheer him. Whose house?
Literally. But this is just blatant. Like if he came back and was still a jerk, but still went at Adam Cole, that would have been a different story.
All right,
because they're like, okay, he's still doing what he was doing, but at the end of the day, he doesn't like Adam Cole, or not Adam Cole. I'm sorry, MJF.
Here's my problem. I followed the story very closely. My whole family got invested in this story. We loved the Better Than You Baby situation. Mm-hmm. We love it. It's great. The brochachos. We still want to see MJF we want to see Adam Cole get his comeuppance. We want to see MJF get his revenge. It's not enough.
Right.
My investment is still in MJF in that storyline. MJF might be a son of a bitch in other regards, and I might want to see Daniel Garcia kick his ass. I still want to see MJF beat Adam Cole dead.
Right. MJF should be the babyface in this rivalry, but instead Adam Cole is coming back like he has a vendetta. You did it. It's
you did it, motherfucker. You created all of this drama with yourself. You broke your own ankle. You're the whole problem, Adam Cole.
God.
Can Adam Cole kick his own ass as a face?
I think he's done it quite a bit for his career with these injuries. He's been kicking his own ass since day one.
If Adam Cole gets in the ring and legitimately kicks his own ass, I can get behind him being a face.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's move on. That's fucking great.
Before I lose IQ points thinking about this.
Now I need to find footage of Adam Cole kicking Adam Cole's ass. I need to make that. Adam Cole versus Adam Cole. Oh my God. All right. This was the greatest match on the card. It always was going to be the greatest match on the card, even though there's a match here with Bryan Danielson, and that tells you how amazing this young talent is. Will Ospreay, Ricochet, Takeshita. Holy crap. Words can't really describe what happens in this match, right? Are you able to?
Yeah.
I can't.
No.
I got nothing.
No.
I watched the whole damn thing with my jaw on the floor, right? Like everybody. It's like, wow, Jesus Christ. And then, of course, we have a phenomenal ending with Takeshita as the new, like I said, AEW booking. You know, your wrestling brain would have said Ospreay takes this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this coming? Were you thinking?
No.
It's crazy.
No, I had no idea Takeshita was going to win this. And this, I'm very critical of the flippy for just no reason. Like,
yeah.
I'm one of those people that will watch your flippy match. Like, there can be good flippy wrestling, but it better make sense. It better, like, I'm one of those people that will watch those matches, like Will Ospreay versus Ricochet 1-on-1 a few weeks ago on TV. I watched that with a critical eye. I'm ready to see if these guys are just going to flip around for no reason or if they're going to actually tell a story. I wasn't super big on their one-on-one. I felt like it was kind of forced. They were just doing it to do it, but it set this beautiful masterpiece up, and I adored this match top to bottom. Everything was great. They didn't just like keep redoing the same stuff. They did new stuff. They did stuff we didn't see the rest of the night. They hit all of their big stuff. It was just fantastic, and the right guy won. The guy that you wouldn't expect to win, but the right guy won, and they got places to go now with the Don Callis story. There's different angles. Ricochet's involved now. You can have the next 6 months of pay-per-views lined up where it's just Takeshita versus Ospreay versus Ricochet, Ricochet versus Takeshita, 3-way rematch. Throw a fourth guy in there. Have Takeshita find a tag team partner, or the Aussie Open guy. I wasn't familiar with his
Kyle
name.
Fletcher.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Free tag match on pay-per-view.
The
Like
end
there's
of this
so much they
match.
can do with this now.
And a lot of people are noticing no one booed Takeshita at the end of this.
No, he did excellent. It was so good.
No. Oh, and one thing I loved about this match was the subversion stuff. The
Oh yeah.
subversive bit. So you got Will Ospreay and Ricochet, and they do those like double flips at each other and land in the superhero pose, and then get absolutely fucking annihilated by Takeshita. Awesome. He's like, oh, I know this spot.
So good.
I know exactly when to come in on these morons. When they land and stare at each other, that's when I get to clobbering.
One of my favorite parts of the whole match, and it was so subtle. It's actually how they started it. They got Takeshita down and were trading kicks at his back.
Yeah.
They did the Danielson, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles spot where they're just wearing his back out. Then he stands up and he's like, "Quit kicking me!" And then they both kick him again and bump him. It's so good.
It's awesome. And then, yeah, the ending of this with the high drama with Kyle Fletcher, I wouldn't have seen that coming either. Holy crap. The feud that Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher are going to go on to have after this, I mean, that's a blood feud. That's going to end in a steel cage or something awful, right?
Yeah, I mean, these four individuals can go on for theoretically like a year.
Yeah.
Of just this interchanging, I wrestle you, you wrestle me, tag match, 3-way, 4-way. Like they can just go on and on and on. There's so much here now.
You think they're going to trade that belt around? My impulse is that Takeshita is going to hold on to this thing for like a year.
I would love to see him have it for a year. I would love to see
2 years.
2 years.
A year isn't long enough. A year doesn't express it. Yeah, 2 years.
I'd love to see. I think it needs a good long title reign. This is one of the belts that I think needs a little bit of help to be established. It needs someone to carry it, but also
I would say established again. I think
established again, reestablished.
I think Orange Cassidy did a great job with this.
I agree. But I also like the idea of them passing this belt around like the early like Attitude Era tag titles, where it was just going from the Hardys to the Dudleys to the Edge and Christian back to the Hardys.
It's kind of fun. I could definitely see Ricochet grabbing it off of Takeshita in pretty short order.
Yeah.
Just to get something on him. But I don't know. I kind of like the idea of Takeshita just being a dominant, horrible champion for just like a hell of a long time. Just
I like that a lot too.
Punish. Because people like him. People like him, even though he's with Don Callis. The guy's very charismatic. He's amazing. All of his matches are like 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. I don't think he has a bad match in his entire run.
Oh, he's very, very good. He's another one that I just was not familiar with whenever he came over, and he kind of got. I loved his look. I thought he looked really good. Some of the early stuff he did with Omega was great, and then he kind of dipped down a little bit like Hangman. Kind of took that little dip, and I kind of forgot about him. A little lost in the shuffle. Then he started doing like the Oni mask thing, and I'm like, okay, this guy's sick. I love that mask. And then now he just has banger after banger after banger, and it's just so good.
Yeah, he's sitting at a 9.27 average for his matches on Cage Match. He's absolutely phenomenal.
That's awesome.
All right, let's go on to the next one here. Yeah, there's no way I can break this down play by play. This match was nuts. That was the most notable thing when they did that double flip and then just got clobbered. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so good.
Because I was about to roll my eyes at it like, oh, these guys are doing that. Oh, shit. Okay, I see what's going on here. Yeah, I really like the addition of Takeshita in this. What they gave me with this match was something I didn't know I wanted, and I love it when wrestling does that. Like, I can sit here. I'm a terrible booker. When I sit here and I decide what I want to see on an AEW pay-per-view or show, I have stupid ideas that suck. So it's much better when they do something I don't even know I want and then execute it flawlessly like this. It's like, oh, that's why I actually watch the show, not because of the dumb shit that I want to happen. Like I'm sitting over here, oh, I want Danhausen to fight Orange Cassidy. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't actually want that.
I don't actually want that.
I actually want that. I want Takeshita to dominate, Will Ospreay and Ricochet. And I want Kyle Fletcher to betray Will Ospreay because I'm weird. Okay, I'm really weird apparently.
So good. I'm excited to see what he can do now, the Fletcher guy.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, he's incredible. Shout out to Fletcher with the crazy hair when he unmasked, too.
Oh, yes. That was such a good visual. You hate to see a moment like that get ruined by something stupid. So for him to take it off and just have that wild looking hair was so good. I loved every second.
All right. Oh, we had more little promos on this show than I expected, than I wanted.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one though was Orange Cassidy and Jerry Lynn.
I think so too.
Orange Cassidy and Jerry Lynn, I thought this was a really cool promo that not enough people are talking about, quite honestly. And I think maybe we should talk about it a little bit. What do you think, Kellen?
I think so. I think
because I think this is
trying.
This is very telling of where we might be headed with AEW in the next year.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. It's a big moment. So what did you get out of this?
That they're trying to put eyes back on Orange Cassidy, that they're going out of their way to reestablish him as a pillar. Because really that's what he is. I don't know if he was he officially in the 4 pillars?
No, he did not enter the pillar conversation. Now, what people don't really realize about Orange Cassidy casually is how old he is. He does not look old, but he's a veteran wrestler.
Is he now?
He absolutely is. Let me look it up right now, but he is much older than the pillars are like young guys.
Right, okay.
Orange Cassidy's kind of a veteran. Let me look him up here. I think he's in his 40s though.
Well, we'll call him the unofficial veteran 5th pillar because I think he's a building block for the company moving forward, and that's what they're doing here. They're establishing him as this is still one of our top guys. This is still someone to expect to see in the main event. Let's give him the legend rub. Let's let him interact with somebody, put him over, talk about how big of a fan he is. Let's reestablish him as someone you need to remember because he's going to be in high-profile stuff here coming up.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, no one has really talked about Orange Cassidy being like a world champion. And yeah, I verified, 40 years old. So he's got 10 years on like all the other guys that you would call pillars or whatnot.
Right.
Which is probably why he doesn't really get categorized that way. But he's, for all intensive purposes, an AEW original. Mm-hmm. He got his fame in AEW. He had established his character on the indies, for sure. He was already Orange Cassidy when he came in. He had lots of matches under his belt. He had already kind of made that character. The character's been refined as he's been in AEW. But it was already something that was established outside. But for all intents and purposes, AEW original. And I think with this promo, they're establishing, they want you to start thinking of Orange Cassidy as a guy who could be a world champion.
Yeah, I think so too.
How do you feel about Orange Cassidy, AEW world champion?
I would need to see more build. They had him built as a very legitimate threat before and kind of fumbled the bag a little. Or I don't know if they fumbled the bag. I think they chose to put the bag down.
It sounds about right.
But they had him built up as a
down for
threat.
now.
You know what? Maybe not. That was a really great match you had with Chris Jericho, but never mind. Let's do something else now. But I think, yeah, with the right build, if I see him beat the right people in the right program with the right story, I mean, absolutely, right. I can see him with it.
Speaking of that, fast forward to the end of this pay-per-view. And the closing image of this pay-per-view, everyone's fixated on Darby. Oh, this is Darby's story. Darby's going after the belt. Who's right in there in the frame with him?
Yep.
Orange Cassidy, right? Yes, I think we got a real Civil War situation happening here.
I think so.
Orange Cassidy would deal with Danielson in one way, and Darby would clearly deal with him in another way. You know what I mean? Orange Cassidy is very much like the moral center of AEW. I don't think he's ever done anything sketchy whatsoever. He's like one of our most straightforward baby faces in the company and always has been, even when he wears darker denim. Right? That's as heel as he gets, is sometimes he wears some black denim or some darker blue denim, right? He doesn't curse, right? I don't think. He doesn't curse.
He
hardly talks, always righteous, always fights for what's right. It's like Hulk Hogan, this guy.
He reminds me a lot of like their Tommy Dreamer, where it's just, he's just the heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think we're looking at some real conflict between Orange and Darby, and they're probably going to have to, learn how to work together. And who knows how long that takes.
Right.
And there's probably conflict about who is the actual face. Is it Darby or is it Orange?
I think they'll build to a very cool match between the two of them, on top of them having to team up and kind of be on the same side of the Civil War for a little bit as well.
That's really fun. When I think about Darby and Orange Cassidy going together, I don't think we've ever seen that match. That's very exciting.
Yeah, I don't think we have either. Now that I think about
it. Those guys are both extremely creative and keen to take a lot of punishment you wouldn't expect guys their size to take.
Right.
So yeah, I'm very excited by this. This was the most interesting part of the pay-per-view, were the plot developments with Orange Cassidy, which says a lot with all these amazing matches, with all these moments. It's really these quiet story beats with Orange Cassidy that I was most into really about this pay-per-view and most excited about.
Right. I think collectively this is some of the best story-driven this is the direction that we're going, kind of red flags or green flags, really, it's a good thing that we've seen in a long time. Just lots of little seeds being planted, lots of glimpses into the future, and I really dug it.
Totally giving me something I had no idea I wanted to see. Before this pay-per-view, right. I had no inclination that Orange Cassidy would ever be in the world event title scene. And now I kind of need it.
I kind of need it.
Kind of need that to happen, yeah.
Him versus Moxley would be so good. They're so opposite.
They've done it before. They were the main event of All Out, and they weren't supposed to be. That was when Punk got fired.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't even get to watch Punk go.
Yep. Punk was going to be the main event of All Out in Chicago that year, and they had to pivot to Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy, and this is where Orange Cassidy lost the international title for the first time. And that was a killer match. That was actually it was extremely violent.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Just the thought of them being together got me excited.
I never enjoy watching Orange Cassidy get color because he is such a straightforward babyface. I think every time it happens, it's just horrendous. And there's got to be something to that, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If it makes
some heartstrings being tugged on.
I'm like a grizzled asshole wrestling veteran piece of crap. And I'm like, no, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see Orange Cat, the 40-year-old man, you know, get color.
Don't hurt him.
Don't hurt him. It's great. We got someone on Facebook here very disappointed that we're talking about AEW and not his precious WWE.
Wah.
I'm sorry, like,
streamer.
Yeah, most of the fucking internet's talking WWE, so like, you know, get over it.
There's plenty of people that make content about WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, watch them.
All right, go ahead.
That was it.
I was just groaning because I was moving to the next thing that happened, and this is my low light of the show.
Really? I want to hear what you didn't like about it.
So you enjoyed this? All right, it's fitting that we brought up WWE because I feel like this was a very WWE segment. This whole bit with Swerve and Nana and the Hurt Business, the Hurt Syndicate, whatever the hell this thing is. You enjoyed this?
You didn't? I want to hear what you didn't like.
This. I have watched every single AEW pay-per-view that's ever been, and I have never seen anything like this on any AEW pay-per-view. Which
that's fair.
You know, it's not bad to do new things, except this is a very WWE thing to do, where we slow down the show almost in the dead center, and we just do an extended in-ring promo with really no plot movement whatsoever.
I guess I see where you're coming from, because even in WWE's defense, they won't do something like this on a pay-per-view. Like, it's very bizarre to have a segment like this. This screamed Dynamite.
Oh, they'll do it on a pay-per-view. I mean, I've literally, they had a pay-per-view where they had Cody Rhodes out to do a talk show segment. You know what I mean?
You're right.
They do that all. And I groan every time it happens. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? Cody could be wrestling anybody on the roster. Now, Swerve, probably not truly medically cleared to wrestle. And I get it, Seattle, and you want to get him out there. Now, I heard that the deal is, and I think this segment would have been so much better had this been the case. This was supposed to be the debut of Bobby Lashley.
Yes, that's what I was waiting on. I was so excited.
I was waiting for that too. And I think like 5 or 10 minutes. This thing was way too long. But 5 or 10 minutes into this thing, I was like, it dawned on me. I'm like, oh, Bobby Lashley's coming out. Okay, all right, then fine. Bring Bobby Lashley out. I totally get it. And then he doesn't come out.
And then he just doesn't.
And I'm like, what the fuck was that? What's the point? The hell was this shit? I'm like, and I'm trying not to be that guy, but like, I'm so accustomed to watching nonstop fucking action on these pay-per-views for 4 straight hours that I'm a little ticked that for the first time, we just decided to put the damn brakes on and just chit-chat in the ring for no apparent fucking reason.
Yeah, when you frame it like that, I can definitely see what you didn't like about it. I didn't like the back and forth of Swerve. Like, I get the subversion of going back and forth and being like, well, I did lose the title on your watch, but on the other side, your family, and like just waving. But I feel like he did it way too many times. He switched like 5 times of going back and forth between them. I'm like, for God's sake.
Would you say he swerved?
Oh my God. I'm going to leave the stream. I'm out. I'm leaving.
All right. I don't really want to rag on it anymore, I guess.
I'm excited to see MVP, Shelton, and Lashley coming. I'll say that. I'm very excited.
It would be better if I just don't. I had a big black period where I didn't watch any professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. I don't know MVP. I don't know Shelton. I'm sure they're amazing. I'm going to love them, a few months from now. But for when I watched this show, when I watched this pay-per-view, I just did not give a fuck about any of this. It would have been thrilling to have Bobby Lashley come out. And I guess the plan was for him to beat the shit out of Swerve. Just come in and just flatten him. And I guess the reason why they pulled it was because they didn't want 2 hometown heroes have their ass entirely annihilated on the same pay-per-view.
That makes sense.
It's fine. I just think they should have scrapped it at that point.
Yeah, really. Like they didn't have to do anything.
Forget it, or I don't know. Let something happen. Beat up Prince Nana. That's a horrible thought, right? Yeah, beat up Prince Nana.
I want to see that.
Yeah, just beat up Prince Nana.
That's worse than Cassidy bleeding. I don't want to see Prince Nana get beat up.
I'll tell you what, though. It's tried and true. When it comes to AEW, if you want a lot of heat, you beat up an old guy. Like, they've done it so many times. If Bobby Lashley came in and beat up Prince Nana, he'd be like the number 1 heel in the company.
Well, someone didn't give Jay White that memo.
Oh, my God, right? I thought this was going to go on. I thought Jay White was absolutely just going to beat the crap out of the old man and then have the heat. But no. I guess Prince Nana could have just beat the crap out of Bobby Lashley. I mean, that'd be something.
Dance on him.
Yeah. Wait, now I kind of want it.
Hold on now.
Hold up. Wait, that sounds pretty good. Prince Nana used to wrestle. Let's go.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. I hope they don't make a habit out of this. I prefer the nonstop action. I would have preferred a match. I agree. They have such a big roster is my problem. That's the thing that kept by the 10 or 20 minutes. I don't know how long this. I know I'm exaggerating about how long this went on. By the 40th minute of this, the thought that kept happening in my head was like, how big is this roster? Like, we could have any 2 guys or a tag match or an 8-man match. We could get a whole bunch of people out here. Why not that?
See, now you're making me mad. Now you're making me not like it. Because my favorite wrestler wasn't on the card. They left him sitting at home.
Who's your guy?
Oh, Malachi. 100%.
Yeah, Jesus. For a lot of people. Lot of people would have preferred a Malachi Black match on here.
Yep, 100%.
But he's probably injured. Him and Ricky Starks, right?
Is Ricky Starks hurt?
No, neither of these guys are hurt.
Oh.
No, Ricky Starks likes to make a point that he's very healthy and able to work.
Oh, they're just not using him. Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
I mean, literally Ricky Starks. And you don't bring him out. You have this happening. I mean, look, it really helps when one of your family members is a writer, I guess. Did you know this controversy? I think it's a little bit under. Well, Will Washington is a family member of Swerve's.
Oh, that makes
So
sense.
yeah, it helps. It helps.
I feel like he would have got there even. I don't
He
know.
absolutely would have got there on his own. But if you got someone in the writer room that's writing what is assumed to be good, I
I
didn't think
mean,
the
most
segment was that good.
wrestlers could make it if they had that kind of machine behind them. The only
Helps.
difference between a jobber and a champion is who believes in them.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who could, I don't want to say anybody could be world champion because that's not exactly how this works, but anybody with the right machine behind them can accomplish great things. So I don't want to say anybody can do it or that he would have done it without it because he definitely benefited from that. But he definitely has the skills to have earned this and to reach the height that he got to with or without a writing family member.
1,000%. So I was looking for a rating on Cage Match for this segment, and I don't see it.
They just skipped it. They're just done.
Yeah, they don't rate horrible in ring segments.
Oh my gosh.
All right, what's next? Oh, Mercedes Moné versus Queen Aminata. Now, once again, surprising me, this is not a low-rated match on Cage Match. This actually has a pretty decent rating. Does it? Wait, was it actually not rated? Did no one actually rate this match? Oh no, this wasn't a match. I'm sorry, this is something on Dynamite. I'm an idiot. I was like, I don't remember this match at all. No, the match
I don't
was,
either.
I'm so, that's my bad. I'm tired. Hologram versus the Beast Mordos. This is sitting at a 7.5. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match. And I hate to be that guy because I have never been that guy, but I'm going to be that guy when I say, where the hell was the build? Where the hell's the story?
This was
What are you doing?
The one that was in contention for my bottom two.
Like, what are you doing? Where's the build? Where's the story? And I'm like, I know it's not necessary, but when everything else on the card has weight to it, what the fuck is this?
I don't.
I mean, it was good, kinda.
I didn't like it at all.
It's all right. I mean,
What's this gentleman's name here? I wasn't familiar with him. Hologram.
hologram.
If Hologram was wrestling anybody else besides the Beast, he either gets hurt or the match becomes a botch fest because of like just some of his ranas, like he wasn't placed in the right spot.
Sure.
And a lot of his moves looked very like it was the Beast really helping him out to make the moves look good. The final execution of the moves always look good, but a lot of that comes to the guy taking it. Like the guy taking it makes the move look, he's behind like 80% of the drive of the move.
Hologram needs a lot of help to perform his offense.
I don't want to bury him like that. I mean, sure enough, he's going to watch this and be in my dang DMs like, what the hell's wrong with you, kid?
I mean, it's just a fact. It's not like that's just what his offense requires. It requires a willing participant.
I told you earlier that I watch flippy shit matches with a microscope. I'm looking for a reason to not like them, and this one gave me a lot of reasons.
There's a lot of reasons.
I mean,
all right.
I watched.
To be fair, the chat is saying that they have been fighting for 4 weeks on Collision, that show that no one watches.
Okay, well.
So
they need Collision pay-per-views at this rate because the people who watch Collision don't know this crap.
I mean, look, I watched Collision and I forgot. I don't think it helps that neither Hologram nor the Beast Mortos can speak.
Yeah.
They literally cannot speak. We've
had matches like that before.
There's no voice.
It's two non-English speaking wrestlers.
I mean, they're literally nonverbal.
Oh, they're nonverbal.
They're nonverbal.
Oh.
They don't have like Hologram has never uttered a syllable.
See, I'm not familiar with Hologram at all.
Yeah, he's a Tony Khan invention. He's a luchador from another company that has been rebranded. This is Tony Khan's creation, Hologram. And I thought that there'd be a little more to it, but apparently it's just a light show and kind of a bad costume. I don't know. And the Beast Mordos literally growls, has no voice.
I do know Mordos. I knew him from TNA. After I saw him show up with like what the heck was that group called? I don't even remember anymore. With Crazy Steve and them, I don't remember the name of the group.
Yeah, they were saying the Beast was in Impact as Black Toros.
Yes, yeah, that's how I know him.
In Decay with Crazy Steve,
Decay.
Rosemary, and Havoc. Yeah,
that was it. Decay. Yeah, I know him from there, and so I was already a pretty decent fan. I really enjoy him. But yeah, a lot of this match was carried off of Black Taurus's back.
These guys need like mouthpieces because they literally have no mouth.
Yeah, I mean it's bad enough to be a primary Spanish speaking wrestler in this business who is struggling with English. But yeah, that's already hard enough.
If somebody came to me and said like AEW has no story and put this match in front of me, I don't have an argument for you.
No,
I'm like, yeah, no, you're right about that one. Nah, yeah, got me there.
Someone has to vocalize the story of what's going on here.
Right? Where is Alex Abrahantes when you need him?
Let him speak Spanish and put subtitles up. Like that would work. But just to be full-blown nonverbal, I didn't know that. I didn't know neither one of them even talk.
Nothing.
Well, they sure as hell talked in the ring because I heard them. But
and the burial from Craven.
I didn't like this match, man. I didn't like it.
Oh shit! All right, we got to start moving faster. We only got a half hour left. It's been great though. It's fun. Everybody live enjoying this? Are you all having a good time? You like Craven? You want him to come back next week? I'm having a good. This is better for me. I feel less insane now. Jesus, breaking this thing down on my own. Like I don't even want to anymore. I'm like I like the pay-per-view. What? Shut up. All right. Next match we got here is Darby versus Brody King. And oldie but a goodie. I mean, this has been going on for a long time. Every time these guys meet up, it's awesome. You got anything other than that? I mean, I love it. Every time these guys go at each other, it's a good time.
Favorite match of the night.
Oh, wow. Your favorite.
Favorite match of the night.
What? And what took this over the top? Because Cage Match doesn't feel that way. Cage Match gave this like a mid rating, which, the internet doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
I can see the argument for the three-way being the real main event or like the real like best match of the night. That's really fine if that's your take, but I loved the in-ring story. This
is wrestling.
Actual story. Maybe it's because I'm from freaking Kentucky and all we do is wrestling. Like this is wrestling. All we know. Come on, kids, sell for me. Like that's all I know. But the just the big versus little, the unstoppable mountain and Darby's unwillingness to die. I wish there was more of a build and a reason for them to fight. I know that
the build is there, man. You just haven't been paying attention. It's been going for years. These guys have a deep-seated, long history. I mean, Brody King will show up at like signings and kick Darby's ass.
Of that.
Yeah. I think secretly these guys are like best friends and like meet
up. That's how all of it works.
Yeah, these guys are like, these guys love each other. They like trim each other's toenails and shit and like trim each other's like facial hair. But like, seriously, these guys, long-seated history. So like, you don't even need...
Okay, well, let me reword it. Maybe they should have done a little bit more recently. Because like the only thing I saw recently was that one segment in the ring where Darby is sitting down in his little pink fluffy jacket.
Oh, that was such a good promo.
It was so good, but I could have used that and maybe like two more segments and I'd have been great.
Hey, I'm not going to argue with more of that on TV because Darby's promo skills, I think I said it about a year ago. He did like a Rock evolution. I don't know if you remember back in the day, but Rock wasn't always great on the mic. And then just like over the course of 3 promos, he just leveled up. And that's the same thing I saw with Darby, and Darby's incredible on the mic now.
I agree. And this match just had everything that I like. And maybe I'm biased. It's got a House of Black guy in it, but and I love Darby as well. So it's just win-win for me. I'm just more familiar with these two guys, so I have a little bit of a bias. But I love the in-ring storytelling of this match, and it won me over more than anything else on this card.
All right, I gotta find out what brought the rating on this down because I'm in agreement with you. I thought this was better than it's being rated. The lowest rating does have a comment This was a good, entertaining match by two quality professionals. I can't earnestly say that there was anything particularly special about it, though. Overall, I think it served its place on the card well. And they gave it a 5 out of 10, which seems like a very, kind of nice comment for such a low rating. Maybe it's just card fatigue. Maybe it's where it came at.
Right.
I mean, they'd already, it came right after Beast Mordos and Hologram, which was like this like crazy kind of spot fest kind of thing, which sucked. But
right.
You'd already seen the triple between Will Ospreay and Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if Darby would have jumped up on this is a problem. I don't find this to be a problem, but I guess it might be a problem for some when you see Darby Allin on a card and he doesn't climb a big ladder and jump through a huge pane of glass. Now you're kind of
every single time,
but now you're kind of, that's what you want. Now I want that from Darby Allin. So if Darby doesn't do a crazy stunt, it's not a good match, even if it's a great match. You think maybe that is some of what people are saying?
Yeah, I think it could have a little bit of like, I call it Jeff Hardy syndrome, where like once you do so much big, amazing stuff, they just expect it every single time. But I feel like this match even had some of that with like the stair bumps and stuff. Like I feel like we even got it to a degree.
But he's gone so big. He's gone so big.
He's gone very big. He's gone too big.
I hope that he works like less crazy matches for a while, just to kind of take people down, take their expectation level down, so he doesn't use
more like this.
I don't want to see him keep topping himself. I love this match. I think it's great. I don't know if it's my match of the night. I think I'm going to wait until the end of this to say what my match of the night was, because I don't even know yet. I'm still working it out. But it was definitely very, very good. Cool. Oh, solid analysis, sir. It's nice to have a professional here. I feel so stupid.
Even if he lets his bias come in.
No, that's good. That's fine. Wrestling. Lots of quality wrestling. There was nothing even fucky at the end of this. Oh,
no,
shit.
it's pretty straight.
My bias is going to come out now because we're going to talk about the Young Bucks and Private Party. And if you know anything about Mr. Hartgrave, it's that he's horribly biased towards Private Party because one of the guys talks to me. So this was my match of the night. Now here it is. This is it. This match was everything for me. The storytelling in this match was off the hook. I love this. I love that it's Private Party that's getting like this epic kind of story. They're really making something out of what has been subtext for a long time, which is like, Private Party's been here since 2019. Where's their opportunity, right?
Right.
They got a little bit of push when they came in, and then nothing really happened for them. And that's just kind of been like an internet dork thing to say, except now they're bringing it up to the front, and Private Party's feeling it too. And they're starting to talk about it, and they're here fighting with the Young Bucks. What did you think about this?
Honestly, I'm going to shoot straight. I skipped this one.
What?
I really don't like the Young Bucks. It was a long night. We had just saw Terrifier 3 that night, and I'm like, if there's a match to use our extra bank time to skip, it's a Young Bucks match. I want to skip forward. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You gotta go back and watch this, Kellen. You gotta. This is a really good match. You say you like psychology.
I do, and I love tag team wrestling. I did the tag team scene for a year.
This is really good. This is as good as their first match.
Kick Craven off the show now.
Yeah, you're done. Damn it. You're cooked. It's over.
I'm out. That was my heel turn. That was it.
All right. Well, the good news is I already made a whole fucking video on this match. So if you want to know more about my thoughts about this match, which I'm not going to share with Kellen because fuck him, you can check that out right here on the channel. It's my Private Party video. Not enough of you motherfuckers have watched that anyways. And at the end, I get all fucking emotional about how great this match is because it was pretty fucking great. So I don't know, man. Go watch the fucking match.
Now I gotta watch it. You put it over. Next time I'm on, I'll give my review of this match.
It's a good fucking match. I'd really like to next week come back. We'll invite you back, and we got to know your thoughts on this match. We might start with that.
Rain Dragon might not want me back.
Did you even see the opening where they did like this big emotional thing with them and Amazing Red?
No, I didn't.
Shit, dude. This is the match that had like the cinematic opening. You know, you get one of those every pay-per-view where they kind of go the extra mile and they go film some shit. They were really trying to get you. I mean, I think this match has the feels. This match is the emotional one. Bring a fucking tear to your eye.
I'll watch it. I promise.
It's got the crazy spot. Quinn comes off the top of the entryway, which is cool. Yeah, they just kind of go for it. And it's the only match that Private Party have ever had, their only tag match on a pay-per-view ever.
What?
Yep. Facts.
That's ridiculous.
It's crazy. So and that was the subtext, but it was the whole text this time.
I like how the story sounds incredible.
Yeah, I like how they brought it in. I like how it's like, these guys, and I knew going into this, they were pushing so hard. I'm like, they're not going to win. The whole reason, and they're pushing so hard so fast. Like they did the build in like a second. And I think the whole idea was they wanted to see if people would bite. Hey, do you guys think Private Party could be champions? Not, we're going to make them champions, but let's just throw it out there.
Right.
I think it works so good. Because now, like, I put out a Reddit post on that video, and 9 out of 10 people are like, I didn't think Private Party were shit, but now I need them to be world champs.
Right.
That's like
awesome.
Universal consensus was like, yeah, I thought Private Party sucked and like, fuck them. Now I need them to unseat the Bucks. We need the rematch.
If that's the heights the story of this got to get to, then I'm excited to
full gear in Newark. Okay, let's go. I mean, I didn't want it to happen in Seattle. These guys are both from New York. So I'm like, please don't win in Seattle. Please set up the rematch for Full Gear. Now everybody cares. So I think this is perfect.
Right.
I think this is the perfect way to do this. Have them win in Newark. Newark loves Private Party. All right. And they're all hugging at the end. Craven, come on.
Of course, I skipped the one magical, like, fantastical moment.
You really did. I mean, it's good though because the end of the show is such a downer. Anyways, you go back and watch this on its own. It'll hold up.
Okay, all right. I gotta watch that one, and I'm gonna rewatch the women's match.
Here's the thing that'll get you, and I don't know if Quinn is doing this authentically or if he knows how genius it is, but Mark Quinn keeps kind of throwing into interviews. He says this thing about Isaiah Cassidy. He's like, yeah, I'm in this, for us to succeed. But more than anything else, I just want to make sure my boy Isaiah gets there. So even if we can't both do it, I want to make sure that he can do it.
Man.
No, right? And he's like, oh, dude.
Right at the heart.
Yeah. They definitely got one of the best stories going right now. Love Private Party. It's funny too, because before I even had any connection to them, like personally, I was just going around the house all the time being like, I hope Private Party comes back soon. Like before they came back, like 6 months before they came back, like periodically, I just be like, I can't wait for Private Party. Private Party's going to come back soon, right? Because Quinn was out for a full year with his injury.
I was about to say I haven't seen them in a long time on anything.
He was out for a full year with his injury, and then he got another small injury after they came back.
That's the worst.
Which might have delayed things. All right, the next match we got to talk about is the true worst match of the night.
Yeah, I didn't like this one either.
Mark Briscoe versus Chris Jericho. I guess it's tied. The other one was Jack Perry versus Shibata. I mean, technically, Jack Perry and Shibata has a lower rating. That was probably actually, but I mean, it's close enough. Mark Briscoe versus Chris Jericho. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to clip anything out on this. Do you have anything profound to say about this shit?
I don't.
Fuck this.
I don't know. At this rate, I wouldn't even have the Ring of Honor title on the pay-per-views. Like, I'd rather see a Malachi Black match than this. Like, just let him squash somebody.
Oh man, you know what I could say is that I was way more excited when Brian Cage won the TV title on the pre-show.
Yeah,
Brian Cage winning the TV title on the pre-show actually was exciting. I was like, yeah, let's go. Brian Cage is a champ.
Yeah, I'm definitely hyped to see Brian Cage get some love.
Shit, man. Dude, if this was Brian Cage versus Mark Briscoe and he was the guy to take the belt off of Mark Briscoe, that would have been more exciting than this.
Absolutely. But by the end of the match, I was cheering for Jericho.
Oh God.
I was like, let's go, man. This match, I'm done. Like, just win the belt. I'm over it. Let's go.
Oh no. Just become what's he want to be now? He was the Ocho. Now he wants to be the Nueve.
I think that's what got me. I was like, ooh, Nueve. That's
Nueve.
Dope. I like that a lot.
Now wait. I got to check this because my Spanish isn't that great. Nueve, is that 9?
I'd have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's 9.
What an asshole. Do you see what he did there? Do you see what the motherfucker did? I don't know if you caught it. He's not acknowledging the FTW title.
Oh my gosh.
He just
I didn't until you said it.
He's not acknowledging that title at all. It's unofficial, doesn't count. Even though he put it over so hard when he held it. Now that he doesn't, it doesn't exist. That delusional, I
got Rain Dragon cheering for Jericho.
That delusional bastard.
Oh my God.
Literally not recognizing one of his title reigns.
I can't.
All right. So that's my favorite part about that then. And I do believe he's doing it consciously. That's not a mistake.
No, that's definitely a decision.
What a great decision.
Oh my God.
I don't hate Jericho. I'm not mad at this match because of Jericho. I'm just mad because I don't care. I didn't understand the build. I didn't care about the build. I love Mark. I think Mark's great. I don't think he should have lost the belt. I think Big Bill should win the belt. Big Bill's
that would be interesting.
Big Bill's the star here.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, it's Big Bill. I think Big Bill should do big things.
Big things for Big Bill.
Ring of Honor championship would be good for Big Bill. Rumor is that the guy that's going to beat Mark is going to be Sammy.
Okay,
that's the rumor. That's the loose rumor that I've heard through channels.
I've thought about that before. I think that would be a good world title for Sammy to win, kind of reestablish him because he's another one that's kind of fallen off from being a front and center major star,
a pillar,
a pillar. Kind of bring him back to the front of the pack here. Yeah. Give him a world title reign on a different show. Let him earn his way back to the main event scene. Well, I can get behind that.
Here's the situation. So the information is they wanted to bring him back in and make him part of the learning tree thing. And allegedly, I don't know any of this, by the way. I'm an idiot. But allegedly, they want to bring him back into the learning tree thing. He says no. I don't want to do that again. Rightfully so. I think that would be a horrible idea. I don't think
absolutely.
And he goes, and so I don't know if he pitches it or they pitch it or who pitched it. Go to Ring of Honor. Go work this thing with Dustin, become a face, and then do a heel turn by taking the belt off of Mark.
Okay.
Get that nuclear heat because whoever takes that belt off of Mark is definitely getting it. Right. You can't take that belt off of Mark, and it's going to be very difficult. I don't know who can do that. I don't know who can do that and remain a good guy. That's a heel move right there. That's bad stuff. And Jericho touched on that. I mean, that part of the build was good too, where he was like, you're not as good as your brother. That's pretty low. That definitely had the heat, that had the feels going.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. The match, I don't know. I don't know about that match.
Forgettable.
Are we at the main event? We're at the main goddamn event. Kellen, we're in the final stretch. You've made it. Are you tired?
No, but I definitely have to pee.
Do you want to take a break? You can take a break.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right, let's recharge. All right, Kellen's taking a break, everybody. Hey, out there, how's it going? I'm glad my WWE guy didn't want to harass us the whole time, though that could have been fun. I'm thinking we bring Kellen back next week. He's doing great. What was it? 10 out of 10 was Private Party? I think so, too. It was really, really good. Private Party versus the Young Bucks. If Private Party loses, they'll disband. Oh, weird. I don't think they will disband. From interviews and stuff, I don't see Private Party breaking up. I don't think Mark was mad from the interviews where he's like saying like I want Isaiah Cassidy to succeed. I don't think Mark was like ever upset that Isaiah kind of got like the rub. A lot of people think Isaiah is just like so much more talented than Mark, which isn't like the actual truth. But I don't think he minds that perception, deeply. I'm sure it's a little annoying. Mark and Chris had a solid match. However, if Athena isn't allowed to have her Ring of Honor title on AEW, why does Mark get it? Good call. Yeah, that is weird. I don't know if she's not allowed or why isn't Athena on pay-per-views? So that is weird. Why? Yeah. Now I'm kind of upset about why didn't we get an Athena match instead of a Swerve Strickland weird promo, right?
Oh, okay. We're back and recharged.
All right, sir. We were just bringing up why does Mark get to bring the Ring of Honor title on a pay-per-view and Athena doesn't?
That's true.
Right?
That's really true.
It was a very good point. Why Mark and not Athena? I would have definitely rather have had an Athena match than a Swerve promo that went nowhere.
Yeah, I definitely can get behind that. I would love to see Athena and get Billy Starks out here. I'm a big Billy Starks fan.
She's great. We could probably go on for 5 minutes on this. I would rather see the return of Danhausen than a Swerve promo that goes nowhere.
Does he still work there?
I'd rather know that.
I'd rather get my answer. Oh my gosh.
I'd rather see Ricky Starks versus anyone than a Swerve promo that goes nowhere.
I'd rather see a Buddy Matthews match.
Good one. Does chat have any? I would rather have 5 more minutes on Private Party versus the Young Bucks.
I'd feel that. Okay.
I would rather have 1 more minute on every match.
Just let everything go a minute longer.
Let everything go a minute longer than that promo section.
Oh my gosh. I would rather have a trios title match.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, good point. I would rather have a trios title match as well. I'd rather have the Guns appear. They might have been on the pre-show. I'm not even sure. Swerve, that promo on the pre-show would have been great.
Excellent.
Fantastic place for that. Get people to buy in and debut Lashley. For fuck's sake, debut Lashley. Debut Lashley and then have him on a match instead of that fucking promo.
That's it. I'd rather see Bobby Lashley's in-ring debut.
Oh my God. I think that would have increased pay-per-view buys. If you would have done that promo and saved the beatdown, have someone jump in by proxy for Swerve. Does Swerve have any friends left?
I don't think so. Nana.
Swerve has no friends. I think Juice Robinson needs to come looking for that boy. You know how the Bang Bang Gang feels about people with no friends.
That's true.
Yeah. You ain't got no friends, Swerve. But wait. You ain't got no friends, Swerve, but you got me. Right? And he sticks up for Swerve, and then Juice Robinson gets his ass handed to him by Bobby Lashley instead of that fucking promo.
There we go.
I love it, actually. I mean, Juice, I would have loved to have seen, out there as a singles, because he's been doing. I mean, I think he works great in the trios thing, but I think I'd like to see him in a singles. I really like to see a lot of things. You know what? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to mean it, and people aren't going to believe me, but it's very true. Brandon Cutler. I'd rather see Brandon Cutler and Colt Cabana do a tag match instead of that promo Swerve. That's
Okay.
how far. That's how far I'm willing to go. And now that I've already alienated everyone on the internet, let's talk about the main event.
Let's get it.
Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, versus Jon Moxley. Tell us what you feel.
I mean, I feel like I watched a legend get taken out back and put down. Like, good Lord, it was hard to watch at certain points in the best way possible. I didn't mean that in like.
Well, I mean, he
Daniel
did.
Bryson.
He did kind of tell him about the rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to watch in parts in the best way possible.
Did you see it coming? Did you think this was going to be it?
In the back of my mind, yes. Okay. I kind of thought that there was no other shark to jump, and I thought that it got really weird when they forced Danielson versus McGuinness so early, like very quickly. It was like McGuinness is cleared. Here he is versus Danielson. Let's just go. Let's get it out of the way. Let's get it in before we go.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? It's very nice that was able to happen.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That was it wasn't a guaranteed thing. So I'm glad that was able to happen. And there was one little tipper on this. You could see it coming, and that is on Dynamite before this. He came out to the final countdown, and they just let it play.
Yeah.
They just let it play.
Everything out of it.
And they just let him fight to the final countdown for like the whole song. And I was kind of thinking, like, is that something they would do if this wasn't his last appearance on Dynamite?
Right.
I don't know. This might be it. Because there was an interview with Claudio where Claudio was kind of like, this is going to be Danielson's last Dynamite, but kind of like, in a heel persona. So wasn't really giving it away, but also kind of like Claudio's not a very good actor.
Never been his strong. He's sweet as can be. I met him at a convention one time. He's so nice.
But yeah, I felt the genuine sentiment in that he might be tipping it off, and then there's that moment. And I think it's nice. I mean, I guess the story is that this is very much what Bryan wanted. Bryan wanted to go out to Jon Moxley, and Bryan wanted to go out in a really weird, way. He didn't want to go out in a typical fashion at all. So this was absolutely what Bryan wanted, and I can't fight with that.
Mm-mm.
I can have my thoughts about it. I could be like, oh, I wish this or I wish that, but this is what Bryan wanted. And I think that's really cool that AEW lets these guys who have earned this. If you can't say that Bryan hasn't earned, who to go out to and how he wants to go out, I don't know who the hell you can say it about.
Right. He's definitely earned it more than most.
That's it. That's all he wants. Now, I think Bryan has been on record as saying that as far as this being his last time wrestling, I don't know about it doesn't seem certain. He might be back.
Right. It was the end of his full-time competition. He will never be signed to another long-term deal, but I could see him doing numerous one-offs, actually. I don't think he's full-blown done.
He also did state that when he went out, he wouldn't be happy unless he left his soul in the ring.
Well, he definitely did, because he got murdered by a bag.
He was absolutely murdered. Though this time it was much more apparent that he was giving himself some breathing space.
Yeah, the spot didn't look as good this time.
Yeah, he was really making sure he could breathe, which is good. I don't want wrestlers to actually die in the ring.
Yeah, the least amount of death I can see is possible would be great.
What I liked about this was all the story development we got at the end. We got this moment with Yuta. With the bag handoff. It's great.
Yep.
Great things for Yuta. I'm sure Brian is very happy about that. I'm sure that was part of what he wanted, was to put this mega rub on Yuta. He's got the mega heat now. I mean, I'm excited for the next time Yuta comes out and what the reaction will be.
Right.
I mean, people got to hate this guy.
I mean, he's definitely reluctant. He didn't want to do this. I don't think Moxley clearly wanted to do it more than the others, but it was more like a mercy killing than anything. And that was such a unique story and way to take this.
Yeah.
It was more like they're watching out for their friend in their mind. Like, we are going to do what you don't have the guts to do. You won't stop. We're going to make you stop.
You know what I also found interesting about this? Recently, some information was leaked. For the longest time, people just assumed that Tony Khan wrote every story in AEW, which was absolute horseshit. Was never the case. He always had a team of writers. He always had a group of producers, because why wouldn't you?
Right.
And it came out recently that, this guy worked on this story and this guy worked on this story. What I found most interesting is the guy behind all of this recent stuff with the Blackpool Combat Club is RJ City.
Interesting.
Which is wild. And why?
Yeah, that's bizarre.
And why wouldn't you want to work with that guy?
Right.
After he did Tony Storm, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like his fingerprints were all over that. And Tony Khan's were too. Actually, it was Tony Khan said in interviews that a lot of the Tony Storm stuff Tony Khan came up with and then worked on with RJ City. Because RJ City was the only one who understood what references he was making. He was referencing all these old movies and everyone was looking at him with like glassy eyes. And RJ City's like, oh yeah, I know what you're doing. And he's like, all right, fine. We'll write this. And I think that's where all this stuff comes from, because when this came out, everyone's like, oh, John Moxley's being a Nazi, which was like crazy, right?
Jesus, yeah.
Well, and I don't know if you know the story behind this, but apparently he was referencing a movie called Romper Stomper. Which John Moxley might not have even known he was referencing if this was all coming from RJ City, right?
Right.
I mean, I think John Moxley is having a blast in this psychopath role.
Oh, yeah. This is where he's this is the best God. John Moxley has looked.
Yeah.
Besides like some Japan runs that I've ever seen him ever.
Physically and verbally.
Yeah.
Like everything about this version of John Moxley is like the best John Moxley. I love this crazy, insane dialogue that he's coming off with. Very much, actually, when you say RJ City, the dialogue that Tony Storm was spitting, that insane like poetry, is very much like what John Moxley's spitting on TV now. So I could believe it if you told me that he was behind some of that writing for both of those characters.
That makes sense. I could see the parallels and how they speak and carry themselves.
Yeah. And John Moxley's really doing, like, it's great. And I love that they saw that work for Tony Storm and then took it to such like a different character to put this kind of madness on.
Right.
It's great. I don't know where I'm going from there. Is that the end of the? It's great. Credits.
It's great.
Great. I don't know.
Oh,
we've been talking for 2 hours, and I'm pretty much out. Are you out? Did you want to say anything else about this pay-per-view or Bryan Danielson and John Moxley?
No. It was just there's not. This match was art. Really, is the only way. Really, it was very, very gruesome. Very, very. It was some disturbing art, but it was art. Very similar to the way that the Swerve and Hangman match with like the needle and the cinder block, where like it's brutal and you don't want to watch it, but it's so good. It was such a good match. I enjoyed the build. I enjoy the dark story where like nobody's really wrong. These guys are doing these heinous things, but at the end of the day, you can see where everybody involved in this is coming from. You can see where Yuta's coming from. You can see where Danielson's coming from. You can see where Moxley's coming from. Everybody's right, and you just wish everybody would just stop. And that's such good storytelling.
Yeah. What I wanted to throw out there when I was mentioning Romper Stomper is like, I think it's down to the look of John Moxley, some of the dialogue, but I don't believe there's like some kind of weird Nazi subtext to any of this, like that people are running with. And then I see mentioned a lot. I think that's like crazy. I think that they're just kind of taking the vibe of the main character. And I believe that if I've seen the movie, it's actually what they're referring to is like a classic, well-regarded movie. It's not like a piece of trash. It's not a pro-Nazi movie. It's an anti-Nazi movie, is what it is. So if they're taking inspiration from an anti-Nazi movie, that's something that people aren't saying. What they're saying is like it's pro or it's Nazi. They're not saying pro or anti. They're just like, oh, John Moxley's supposed to be a supremacist. I'm like, and maybe that's what he is being, not a white supremacist, but like a wrestling supremacist, which is kind of, I'm picking that up. He feels that like John Moxley's whole thing is that it should be real.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You should really be a tough guy. You should really be a hard ass to be the number one guy in the company.
Right.
You can't be fake. You have to be the best. If you have a neck injury, we got to put you down. Right? You're weak.
Right.
Nobody else can do it. I've got to do it. I don't want to do it, but it's got to get done.
Right.
And you've said you won't leave unless you're dead, so I got to kill you.
In the bag you go.
John Moxley's a scary fucking character, man. But I mean, you do have to up the bar. I mean, we've had Swerve. Swerve has been downright goddamn terrifying. And then Hangman upped the bar on him. If you want to be the number one bad guy in AEW, you got to do some crazy shit at this point.
Right.
I mean, I remember. And if you want to top it, I mean, I think Moxley's done it.
I think so. There's definitely a level of like diabolical that goes into being a heel in AEW.
Yeah.
And I think Moxley has raised that bar even beyond what we've seen so far. It just keeps getting higher.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm terrified to know where it goes next, but I'm excited to find out.
Absolutely.
See, that's an ending, Kellen.
And it's great.
That's great. I like wrestling. Well, thank you for saving me for an awful live stream where I try to act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about for 2 hours.
Of course, it was a blast.
Oh, boy. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here on Facebook and nobody talked on Instagram. You were the lifeblood of Instagram.
I'm the Orange Cassidy of Instagram.
It looks good on Instagram, though. It looks good on all platforms.
Right.
It's good. Good. I think everything's good. What's not going to be good is watching this back and editing it, but
having to chop it up. Yeah.
You know what? I used to think that was a lot of work, but then I started doing these documentary videos that literally take like a week of my life away.
Oh my gosh.
And now I'm like, I can edit a 2-hour live stream. It's okay.
It doesn't sound so bad by comparison.
Doesn't sound so bad. Speaking of those documentaries, you go watch it now, you motherfuckers. Go watch all of the videos on my channel. Don't skip the commercials and keep digging.